Hey guys, Momola here, and in today's video I'm going to share with you a really powerful on-page SEO tool that I use pretty much every single day, or at the very least every single time I'm looking to increase my positions in the SERPs and really go against my competition to make sure that my keywords, my posts, my articles can rank above theirs. Let's get into today's video. It's going to be a really interesting one. So you've joined me on Surfer SEO's page. This is kind of the homepage. Feel free to take a browse. Surfer SEO is probably the best on-page SEO tool that I use. There are a few competitors, but this is the one that I 100% recommend for a variety of reasons. Because firstly, it works. Second of all, the price is really decent and available and affordable for most people. And third of all, they have lots of different tools and components that will help you with your on-page SEO. So when you get to obviously the homepage, feel free to take a browse through. If you haven't seen how Surfer works before, then they've got lots of small tutorials and I guess like demonstration videos that you can just take a look at just to get a really quick insight onto what you're actually going to purchase. What's really cool is recently they've just opened up the AI version or AI department of their actual tool itself, which I've used, which is pretty cool if I'm being honest. When I first saw it, I was a little bit shocked about the price, but I've used it and it does work. So it really does give you a kind of a shortcut. It harnesses AI, which is obviously all the rage right now in terms of content, and also on-page SEO gives you kind of the harness of the two and helps you to outrank your competitors, which is what we're all here for. Okay, also it can give you lots of information on how to generate briefs for your article writers, and give you information on how to like basically steal competitors' headlines, which is obviously super ethical. You can write and optimize content in any language, which to be honest I've only used English, but just in case you have other versions and languages and formats of your site, it has your back, which is pretty cool. It has an inbuilt plagiarism detector, which of course makes sense because you want to always make sure that whatever the content you're using, whether it's AI or human written, that you have plagiarism under control and everything is up to date and correct. It also has quite a wide variety of other tools that it kind of integrates with. I'm going to go into my Surfer SEO account in a second, but just feel free to scroll down this page and just take a look at some of the cool features and support that they offer. And one thing that I want to mention at the bottom is you have a 7-day money-back guarantee, which is really useful, especially when you're first kind of starting out, because you're not going to have as much money to spend and you want to make sure you put all of your money to use. And if you've got a money-back guarantee, you can use it for 7 days and just get your money back if you're not happy, which is super cool. Okay, let's jump into my account now. So this is the homepage of Surfer. Some of this might be blanked out because obviously it has all of my URLs and all my juicy keywords in it for some of my most useful and highest paying accounts and websites that I'm currently running. So maybe not going to see that information. But on the left hand side here, that's what I kind of want to show you is the homepage, the keyword research tab, the content audit tab, the audit tab, domain planner tab, SERP analyzer tab, and grow flow. Now I've never used grow flow before, so I don't know what that is. I use SERP analyzer every now and again, but the two or three that I use all the time is content editor and the audit, and sometimes keyword research. But these two are the kind of the ones I use the most. So let's go into the content editor tab now to take a look. Briefly, this is what the content editor tab is going to look like. Super simple to use. You pretty much just put a keyword that you're looking to rank for. We'll use the human version first, and you hit create, and then it's going to give you it's probably going to take about a minute or so. But it's going to give you a breakdown of that keyword in the SERPs and how you're going to outrank your competition and what you need to do. So let's take a quick example. I'm going to use my kind of agency site here because I can obviously share it with you because I actually want you to check it out because it's pretty cool. And I'll use some of the blog content that I've just recently been trying to obviously improving the SERPs, outrun my competition, etc. So I'll share with you some of the content audit structures and the content itself so you can see roughly how it works. So the keyword that I've gone for in the content audit is invest in websites. So that's the one that I'm looking to rank for with the niche website management.com domain and URL. And I'm looking to, of course, write an article which has been written and outrun my competition. So the first thing you want to do is obviously do a keyword research. Once you're happy with the keywords, then I'll come over here to Surfer SEO and input that keyword to see what I need to actually write to outperform my competition. Sometimes I'll actually have my writers write it in Surfer. Sometimes I don't really like to for whatever reason because they have their own nuances in how they like to write, which is fine. Either way, once it's completed, I add it into Surfer and then I'll have someone specifically that's trained on Surfer SEO to go in and optimize the article. So as you can see here, this article is roughly 4,600 words long, and it hasn't got any images yet. We'll add those in afterwards. But namely, what we're trying to do is we're trying to really go through the content score and get it to as high as 100 as possible. I think 100, but to get to 100 is probably really, really difficult. But anywhere in the green is very, very good. Anywhere after 85 is fantastic. Here's the cool thing. This is what Surfer is going to do. It's going to give you the competition analysis based on the information that you have, and give you lots of different tips and terms and adjustments that you can do to your content as is to make sure that the content score is high, and helping you to essentially outperform your competitors by just doing some really smart on-page tune-ups. So as you can see here on the right hand side, there's lots of terms that we need to add in or potentially remove. So the term invest in websites, against my competitors, I've added it in 6 times. Potentially I could remove it once to fulfill that criteria. We have website investing, which my competition I have added between 18 and 19 times, and as it currently stands, this article has the keyword website investing 14 times, so it seems to fit quite well in with the overall conditioning for that particular keyword. And of course, it goes through pretty much every single main keyword in terms of the ones that we're trying to rank for, and it's basing it on our competitors, which are usually going to be above us. So if, for example, we want to really improve our score and get it to maybe 90 plus, we want to go in and add traditional investment, broken links, website investments, and of course, we don't just want to stuff a keyword in there. It needs to be written in a really smart way, an intuitive way, potentially adding a few sentences or even a paragraph. Now, one other cool thing about the content editor itself is you have heading suggestions, which, as you can see here, we can add a few more in and potentially write some information about that. So that could be something that I could send to my writer. And of course, NLP, which, if I'm being honest, I don't really use that often. I try to train my writers to include as many of the terms in the all and the headings as possible. I think NLP is like a more of an integrated way to ensure that the keywords are interconnected in some shape or form. I don't really use NLP that often, and for me, I'm just trying to get the content score as high as possible. As you can see here, there is a words and heading section against our competition. And here's the cool part. So I want to show you there, if you go into the settings part here, you can see, and you can also even choose the other websites that we're looking to rank up against. So as it currently stands, there are 4 or 5 competitors that we're trying to outrank. And if, for example, you see this particular site, you're like, it's potentially too big of a site, or maybe it's not covering exactly the same topic that you're trying to cover in terms of your article itself, you can just hit exclude, and then the whole report's going to exclude all that data and give you a more up-to-date and relative competition analysis, which is fantastic. So that is really the content editor in a nutshell. One other small tip that I want to mention is you have some information on an outline builder, which you can send over to your content writers. And also you can add lots of notes and things in the brief section. So again, just some help for your team if you're looking to get it outsourced. One other last thing I want to mention is when you're ready and you're super happy with the layout and the structure of it, you can just hit share, and then that's going to generate a URL that you can send over to your one of your team, your VAs, content writing department, and they don't have to have a Surfer SEO account. They can just go in and edit it, which is fantastic if you think about it, because it makes things so much easier. Now next, we're going to head over to the audit tool. I probably use the audit tool a bit more, because with the audit tool you can audit specific URLs and keywords, and of course I do that across multiple pages. And the content editor I'll use for the most competitive pages, and the ones that I'm really trying to outrank in terms of my competition. So for example, commercial pages. But the audit tool I'll use for pretty much anything. Commercial pages, informational pages, anything that I think is relevant and necessary for competitor investigation. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this keyword in here. Again, this is from Niche Website Management, and it's a URL that I already have, and I'm looking to see what I need to improve on with this particular article to outrank my competition. So we add the URL and the keyword in here and hit create audit. While that's loading, one thing I should mention is that you do have credits for audits and content edits. So you need to make sure that whatever your credit plan is, you don't go over it. And as you just saw there, if you add in the wrong keyword, whatever it's going to be, or the wrong URL, you have 5 seconds to cancel. If you don't, it's going to use one of your credits, so bear that in mind. Okay, so you've joined me inside the audit here, the audit screen. This is for the best flipper alternatives, the URL that I just added in from before. Thus far, the content score is 75, which is pretty cool. You just want to make sure that it's above or in the green area of your competition. That's kind of the main aim of this. You are looking to pretty much go through every single component of the Surfer audit itself and just tick off the boxes and make sure that your content is up to scratch. And this is pretty cool. This is why I like Surfer, because it just gives you very simple components that you can work through or give to a team member, and they'll go in, do all the edits for you, and then you can hit refresh, which I think is up here, and then it'll refresh the score, go against, check all the SERPs, and see where your content is scoring against your competition. So one of the most important parts for me is the terms to use component, and what I usually do is I want to go for phrases and words, but specifically phrases, because sometimes when you add the phrases in, the words take care of themselves. I sort these by action, and then I want the ones that are the most relevant, so 100% relevant, to be done first, and then going through at least the ones that are 100% or potentially 90%. After around 80%, you probably don't have to do those. Let me rephrase. You can do them, but it's going to take a bit more time, and the relevancy in terms of the highest, or 100% and 90%, are the ones that's going to have the biggest impact in your actual content and whether it's going to outperform your competition. So I do ask my team to do 100% and 90% and in terms of these words, and then after that, I think I just ask them to choose the most relevant from the 8% downwards. So super simple. You go in and you can very much just add or remove the keywords or terms that they have here. That's going into your content, of course. Checking which word has been optimized or maybe under optimized, and adding those in a smart and intuitive way. Once you're happy with that, you go down to the next component, which is word count. At the moment, my current article is around 300 to 2,000 words underneath what the current standard is. But one thing to note is that sometimes you have one or two kind of competition websites that just maybe have too much content, or maybe they have a really small amount of content, and that can make your potential word count calculations a little bit off. So bear that in mind as well. As you can see, this one, that's on the nicheinvestor.com website, has around 4,000, but generally most of the competition is around a 2.5, 2.6 mark, which I think is fine. Again, as you can see, this is not a red kind of make sure you do it. It's more just a warning to kind of check out. If you have anything else that you need to check here, you can do. So any of the H2s, the H6s, etc. And sometimes words and paragraphs. Same thing here. This one's super important. Make sure that you have the exact keyword in the title tag. That's super important. Partial keywords need to be taken care of as well. Generally, you can see this particular article is quite well optimized quite well, which is pretty cool. That's because I've actually had someone go through and go through these components. But what you're going to do is just give it to your team, or potentially do it yourself. Go through all the most important components first. This one hasn't been done, which I think should be done. So title and meta description lengths should be a little bit longer compared to my competition, which that's super important. So it needs to be that needs to be taken care of sooner rather than later. And then going through the rest of the important components that you want to make sure that you tackle are the time to first byte, which is a speed issue, and the load time as well. So if your content is not loading fast enough, maybe there's too much images, maybe you've got some JavaScript in the background, you want to go ahead and give it to a developer, potentially do it yourself, but increase the speed, because if your competition's sites are much faster than yours, loads faster, and that's the reason why they are ranking above you. If you don't tackle that, you're not going to get to P1 or P2 or P3, which means you're going to lose traffic, right? So that kind of makes sense. So that is the content editor. That is the audit tool in a nutshell. I hope this video has been useful. I did want to show you the content editor and the AI tool, but I think that I'll leave it for another video, because it takes quite long to kind of go through all the components. But for now, hopefully that's been an insightful video for you. I will leave a link in the description below on Surfer itself. Very useful tool to use. It's not too expensive. They do have slightly higher priced alternatives which you can use if need be, but I think the basic plans are more than good enough, especially for one site. And you get new credits every single month as well. Anyhow, that's it for me. I hope it's been useful. Take care.